It's a proven fact that the American Pitbull Terrier is one of the most fascinating dogs worldwide. Maybe you've been thinking about bringing one into your family and need an in-depth look at the history, health, temperament, and lineage. This only means there's one book for you. The Pitbull Encyclopedia is your one-stop shop when it comes to your furry friend or companion. Knowledge is the key to running a successful program, so make sure your Pitbull is secured by having your very own copy of the Pitbull Encyclopedia. Why are you still hesitating about something you can do today?
Now what's this gonna be? You know how I played it all. That nigga burn his feet. All by his bread. Bitch, I'm all up by my bread. All by
Welcome back to every dog lover's favorite channel, Pelican Bay Dog TV and News for the day. Giving it to my brothers and sisters the way I always do, from America to UK to Africa to Asia, across the globe, man. Touching pet owners across the globe. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, go ahead and subscribe. Hit that like button up. Hit that notification bell. That way you'll be in the loop when the video is dropping. If you're not a member of the channel yet, become a member. Become a member. And that way you'll be in that loop with the special incentives and the special interviews, the exclusive interviews, and the different perks that becoming a member involves with, so hit that, become a member, man, become a member. It's just getting started and it's only gonna get better. You know what I'm saying? I'll probably be doing like I hear brothers talking about, and which is good ideas. The brothers and sisters who are members, y'all will be in the pot for a free puppy, come for a raffle or something like that, or free dog memorabilia or anything that can help you with your pet. Like I always say, we support all pet owners, not just pit bull breeders, but all pet owners. No matter what kind of pet you got, birds, snakes. I don't really do the snakes, but we got a lot of pet snake owners across the country, and we all got this one thing in common: taking care of them animals. You gotta feed them, you gotta water them, you gotta the upkeep for them. So we all got that all in common, And we got some more of that Mr. Barracuda talk, you know what I'm saying? And I want to highlight another red boy Jocko dog as well that we really don't talk about as much, But I'm gonna highlight that dog as well. I'm gonna correct something that I was speaking about, not about Mr. Barracuda, but about some stuff back in the Pedigree. We're gonna talk about more of that Jocko stuff. I don't mind talking about that Jocko stuff. I don't mind talking about no dog period, And I gotta say this before I forget it because it's on my mind. The fact that I just said I don't mind talking about any kind of dog period. Y'all brothers one got me back into this dog game. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got me back in this dog game. I gotta say it like this before we get into this news and stuff, because we got news from the UK as well. But y'all got me back into this dog game, man, because I was doing my training videos, messing with my Malinois and stuff like that. I love the pit, but I'm not dealing with the pit. I get on YouTube and I say I can talk about pit bulls and start a channel. Okay. So I start my channel up. Still, I'm not dealing with the pit bulls right now. But I start getting into these stories. I start talking about Yellow. I start talking about Sambo. I start talking to this brother about these dogs and these dogs. It's just like a crackhead going back out in the street, being around something that, not necessarily, see the pits, I didn't say it was bad for me. It's just something I wasn't doing at the time. Just was doing other things. And last time I got rid of my dogs, I got rid of them because of the fact that I didn't want no yard accidents to happen. And I was trying to start my training stuff up with my Malinois, and I was figuring they wasn't dog aggressive, and I just didn't want nothing to get loose. So the dogs that I had, I put them in different places or whatever. But anyway, getting to talking to y'all brothers on these YouTube channels, man, and getting so in depth in these pedigrees and different things, man, you brought me all the way back. Brought me all the way back. Hey, it's y'all fault. You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate the love from y'all brothers and sisters out there. I appreciate the hate. It is what it is. It's gonna be what it's gonna be. You know what I'm saying? All we can do is keep this thing rolling, you know. So what I'm gonna do, man, I'm gonna get into this UK news first. First, we're gonna go to where a young lady, a teen, was mauled, and it didn't end out well with her. We're gonna go to that press conference. I want y'all to check it out. Like I said, UK XL bully mauling. And the thing about it, in the UK, we see it's why they ban them dogs. It seems to me that the UK has the problem of XL bullies attacking people, and America has the problem of Pitbull fighting. You know, if fights go down both places, but you don't hear about them, the laws being pushed the way they being pushed in America over there in the UK. Yeah, they bust here and they bust there, they bust here, you know, but they don't do like they do in America. It seems like fighting is our problem. Attacking people is UK problem. You know, when it comes to XL bullies and the dogs. We don't really have a XL bully attack problem here in America. You know, we see them, you know, we see different articles, and we know I done gave plenty of articles with XL bullies that done attack people, you know, but it's not to the point where they want to ban them and all that type of stuff. But yeah, let's get to this, man. UK dog mauling, a young teen, sad situation as always. Pelican Bay K9s, let's get into it.
Shortly after 7:15 yesterday evening, we received a call from the ambulance service reporting a woman had been seriously injured in a dog attack inside a property in South Bristol. The first officers arrived within 5 minutes, but sadly, despite the efforts of them and paramedics, the 19-year-old woman died at the scene. Our thoughts are with the young woman's family, who have been updated about what has happened. A specially trained officer will continue to keep them informed of developments during our inquiries. We would ask the family's privacy is respected at this hugely distressing time for them. A criminal investigation to fully establish the circumstances that led up to this tragedy is underway. We can confirm 2 people, a man and a woman, both in their 20s, were arrested yesterday evening on suspicion of being in charge of a dog dangerously out of control, causing death and possession of a prohibited breed. They remain in police custody. The dog, which initially reports suggested may be an XL bully, remained in the address throughout. It was secured, sedated and seized. It has been taken for assessment by veterinary experts. We understand the local community will be shocked and saddened to learn of these events. Whilst we do not consider there to be any ongoing risk to the public, we would encourage anyone with concerns to please speak to our officers, who will be happy to help. We would also like anyone who has any information they think could help our investigation to please contact us by calling 101. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank those officers and the ambulance crew who attended last night. Such incidents are incredibly rare, and the circumstances they faced were immensely difficult. We are ensuring welfare support is available to any officers who may benefit from it. Okay, happy to take some questions.
Do you believe this was an XL bully?
We're in the early stages of the investigation. It's with veterinary experts. Early indications, it appears it was, yeah.
And have you had any idea of what the lead up was to this incident?
Again, I'm unable to comment. We're in the early stages of that investigation. We require no one to really speculate at this point.
Inspector, are you able to confirm whether you'd had any contact with that household regarding this dog?
It's subject to an ongoing investigation, and we're looking at all aspects at this point.
Can you say anything as to whether the 2 arrested and the woman who's died you were shot?
I'm unable to comment on that, unfortunately.
You would say the woman, the victim, was a relative?
So we're still in the early stages of a formal identification has not been done. The family have been made aware, but I'm unable to discuss that at this point.
Yeah, are you able to tell us if the victim is from this area?
I'm unable to disclose that at this point, sorry.
That's it, thank you.
The lady who died, did she live at that property?
As I said, I'm unable to confirm that at this point.
Do we know if the dog has been put down?
The dog has been put down, yeah.
Okay. Cheers guys, thank you very much for that.
Thank you.
Big shout out to all my people in the UK, man. taking care of these animals. Some brothers and sisters that watch my channel don't got pets. You had pets in the past, and maybe you just like the stuff that we be talking about. Big thanks to all of y'all. I gotta say big thanks to all of my people across Africa. You know, from the top to the bottom, from the left to the right. All my people across Asia. You know, the people out there in Vietnam with them great bulldogs. You know, salute to everybody, man. It's a struggle out here. You know, and everybody trying to achieve their goals, trying to, like I said, have them top quality dogs. You know, so we gonna go to the UK again, and we got another article where a man was mauled, and I'm not sure if he passed away, but we gonna get into that article. I want to say it was more than one dog that attacked him, more than one XL bully. So man, you know how I give it to you. Let's go ahead and get into this news because we got some breaking news from here in America. You know, and we got some stuff to talk about as well before we get into that Mr. Barracuda and that Red Boy Jocko and that Jocko stuff. Because like I said, you know I can go all day when we're talking about them Red Boy Jocko dogs, specifically that yellow stuff. You know, so let's get into this UK dog attack. PB K9s, let's go.
2 dogs, including an extra-large bully, have been seized after attacking a man in Fife. Officers in riot gear responded to the incident at a property in Kingsdale Gardens, Kennaway, near Leven, at about 12:40 on Wednesday. A 44-year-old man was injured and taken to Victoria Hospital in Kirkcaldy for treatment. Both animals were seized by police and are expected to be destroyed. Restrictions on American XL bully-type dogs came into force in Scotland last February. Owners of the breed, which have been linked to a series of attacks across the UK, risk a fine for failing to muzzle the animals and keep them on a lead in public. The abandonment, breeding, exchanging, or selling of the dogs has also been banned.
It definitely goes down in the UK. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I see why they put them bans on them dogs, but let's come back across that water real quick and come here to America. You know, where we got a drug bust, dog fighting bust. You know, I kind of looked at the dogs. They didn't really look all that from the video, at least what I seen. Maybe I missed a picture or two, you know, but the dogs were, you know, they was all right, I guess. You know, they said they had heavy chains, heavy collars, and things like that. You know, but we're going to look at this video, and I got something to talk about afterwards.
From Hempstead is facing drug and animal abuse charges. Investigators found tens of thousands of lethal doses of fentanyl in his home. They also discovered several dogs and evidence of dog fighting. And this is not the suspect's first run-in with the law. Long Island reporter Stacey Sager is live in Mineola with the disturbing details. Stacey.
Well, Liz, this investigation actually started back in September after a drug overdose in Uniondale. The problem of fentanyl-laced pills is real, prosecutors say. And so in this latest case in Hempstead, they discovered more fentanyl-laced pills, a loaded gun, and now disturbing allegations of dogfighting.
39-year-old Kevin Brown entering the courthouse today looking nonchalant, and as he waited for his arraignment, even smiling and denying to us who he was. But he couldn't do that when he left court on bail.
You have anything you want to say about the dogs, about the drugs, the gun? Nothing?
This isn't just cruel. It's a serious crime.
Prosecutors and police brought a dog to the press conference, one of 7 pit bulls, who since recovered after being found at a home in Hempstead. Prosecutors say they discovered the animals with scars and lacerations, being kept in weighted collars heavier than they were, and living in dirty crates. They also found a loaded gun and more than 1,000 pressed pills laced with fentanyl.
65,000 lethal doses of fentanyl were recovered. That could kill thousands of people in Nassau County if it had hit the streets.
Authorities explaining that dog fighting charges often go hand in hand with drug sales and weapons, but Brown's attorney denies all his client's alleged crimes.
He's a family man, he's married, he's got kids.
And the fact that he even lived at this location where the dogs and the weapon and the drugs were all found.
I don't believe he was the owner of these dogs, and I think the DA's made assumptions about dog fighting that I don't think is accurate.
Meanwhile, prosecutors aren't buying it, neither are police. Brown is now charged with 34 counts and could face 15 years behind bars.
We're going to give him a nice, comfortable cell. He should live in the same squalor that he put these poor dogs in, and let him learn that little lesson in life.
Now, the DA says Kevin Brown does have priors involving drugs. He is out right now on $200,000 bond. And to give you an idea of just how small a dose of fentanyl can be lethal, prosecutors say it can be as tiny as the tip of a pencil. We're live outside the courthouse in Mineola. I'm Stacey Sager, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
Now, to start this conversation off with my brothers and sisters across the world down in that chat. Big salute to them brothers and sisters down in that chat. You know what I'm saying? Big salute to the brothers and sisters that's watching us out in the chat as well. First thing I gotta say, and the most important thing for me, you know, in this situation is I can't respect brothers who sell fentanyl. You know what I'm saying? I didn't come up in that game. For one, you know, we're not here to glorify nobody who selling drugs, any of that type of stuff. You know, but we know this type of stuff happens and it is what it is. You know, but if you're gonna sell it, make sure it's real. Me respecting the fentanyl man is no different than me respecting the beat selling man. You know what I'm saying? The man out there selling wax and cornbread mix and all kind of stuff. You know, one is no different than the other outside of fentanyl is the worst thing that ever happened to white community, the black community, the Spanish community in America when it comes to any type of drug stuff. You know what I'm saying? Fentanyl, and like I said, I can't respect brothers who sell it. And this is the thing. Sometimes brothers don't know they selling it because it's mixed all in their drugs and they just buying the coke. It's already mixed into it. But then in other circumstances, you have brothers who actually have fentanyl in on their property and different things like that. You know, fentanyl pills and stuff. So it's a difference. And why I can't respect it, man, we always heard and we always know, and it's a proven fact that drug kills. You know, and they always say, you know, we killing our own people or we killing the community by selling crack, cocaine, and regular stuff. But at the end of the day, man, crack, cocaine, heroin, the three main drugs that I just named ain't got shit on fentanyl. You know what I'm saying? Brothers and sisters live their whole entire lives being heroin addicts, coke addicts, crackheads. You know, they live their whole lives. When I came up in the game in the 80s, in the 90s, brothers from the 80s were still in the game. They've been smoking that good bass. They were still in the game, Just over the past few years, you start hearing about all the old school fiends that never had a problem dying because of fentanyl, dying because this stuff is mixed into the product, man. Who came up with this great idea? I can't respect brothers who selling this stuff because you automatically know you can't even touch this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Who wants to sell something you can't touch? You see, back in the days, you couldn't touch the heroin because it was so strong and stuff. You had to double glove your hand and stuff and double bag it and all that type of stuff. But it's different. You would have got high off of it. You know, now with the fentanyl, the things that brothers took for granted back then, you can't take it right now. You know what I'm saying? Brothers said, we're going to, you know, go to the dogs as well. Brothers say, in certain countries, they take cocaine and they rub it around a dog's gums to make them perform better, like greyhounds and stuff like that. Apparently, they haven't been introduced to the cocaine-laced fentanyl that's floating around the world now. You know, your dog instantly gonna die. You instantly gonna die. And that's why I can't respect it, man. It's not enough money to make you sell something that you know is gonna make people pass away or make people sick at least, you know, to the point where it may make them where they have strokes and stuff. Like, can't do it, man. There's no way you can make me say the stuff is right. You know, with fentanyl, you know, and I'm glad I'm out the game. I'm so glad I'm out the game because I may have not lasted it in the fentanyl era. You know, just by, when they say you're on probation, your probation officer could tell that you in the game and stuff because you got cocaine in your system. You're not using cocaine. You out there selling crack in the summertime, in the wintertime, but preferably the summertime, and you sweating in your pores, and that stuff goes through your pores while you breaking it pieces and making cells. It goes through your pores and it shows up as cocaine. So your PO automatically know that you still hustling, But in this day of time, you won't make it to the PO because when that stuff get in your system, you don't know what's in your crack. But when you cooked it up and it not get in your system, it's gonna take you out. It ain't the same, man. And like I said, I can't respect that stuff. I don't really even know what kind of dogs they had. My whole thing is, I can't respect your dog game when you're out here selling something that's killing brothers. You know what I'm saying? Killing sisters. And I mean that literally. It just needs to stop, and you can't stop it because it's a bigger power. It's I don't know where it's coming from. We know it's coming from Mexico. Common sense. But why would they put that stuff in the drugs? I don't want to hear nothing about, oh, it's like heroin, it gets you high. Forget all that stuff, man. The old school, like Pablo Escobar, Lord of the Skies and the rest of them brothers, and all the cartels, they never sold that type of stuff. It was bad things that they did, and they took lives, But this fentanyl is on a different level, brothers, sisters. Be careful out there if you in it. Like I said, I just can't respect it. And the thing about it, like I always say, the drugs and the dogs go hand in hand in 2025. We looking at the video and the brother dogs, they didn't look as bad as some of the dogs that we have seen just recently. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, you got 30-some dog fighting charges, and you got a whole bunch of fentanyl charges, and you can't go to trial for none of that shit. I'm going to tell that brother, them two brothers right there, I'm going to tell them exactly how they days about to go when it comes to that stuff that they got. Them dogs, you going to plead guilty. You not going to plead not guilty to no dog fighting. You got to plead guilty to dog fighting. You don't plead guilty to dog fighting, you gonna have all that stuff piled up on you. All that fentanyl. You got to plead guilty to all that stuff. Even if you wasn't fighting your dogs, you got to plead guilty. Them folk gave you that charge. And like I said, I'm looking at the video. The dogs don't really look all that bad, but you going to take that today. And we preach that every day. You do it, you get caught up in it, so be it. You already knew what it was. This shit ain't nothing new to you. None of you brothers and sisters out here. You got to make them choices. What kind of life you trying to live? You trying to sell and have the dogs, or you trying to live a legal life and have your dogs? Either way it goes, you got to still worry about the dog situation. It depends on how you handle it. But when you got other things on top of that, it just adds on to the problems, adds on to the fire. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, that fentanyl, them dogs, life in general, it don't mix, man. It's the worst thing that ever happened. They say when they dropped the crack into the neighborhoods in the 80s and the late 70s or the early 80s, that was the worst thing. But fentanyl is the worst thing that ever touched American soul, man. Worst thing. You can't, something the size, a grain size of salt that can take an average size or oversized man out is not to be played with. If that's the case, we can sell anything to make some money off of it. We just want to sell something to get a brother zooted out his head. Let me go get some bleach and mix that up with something else and sell that. If I want to just sell something just to destroy people, just to say you feel outside of your normal realm, come on, man. And these brothers, they sell this fentanyl because it's so cheap and they can make money off of it, man. Get your money up, get your weight up, and get some real drugs, man. And stop ruining people's lives out here. And I'm going to take all that back, and say, if you're going to sell or something, Sell real drugs. At the end of the day, get you a damn job. None of that shit worth it. You know, I don't care what kind of job you got to get. Live legal. It makes you feel better, makes you wake up better. You know what I'm saying? It makes your health all around better. Just knowing you don't have that stress on you. Just knowing you don't have to worry about hurting somebody else's family, hurting somebody else's mother, hurting somebody else's father, their kids, being the one that put this brother and sister kids out here on crack. You don't have to worry about that. None of that stress is on you. You know what I'm saying? Hey, live legitimate, live legal, live right, and take care of these animals. And like we always say, fight against animal abuse. And you know how they used to say, oh man, everybody's family got somebody that's on drugs. You know what I'm saying? I don't care who you is, what color you is, or whatever. Somebody in your family, it may not be your immediate family, but somebody in your family on some type of drug. And you may not know it. And you know, but it is. But the thing is, in today's time, every single person in America either got a family member, whether close or distant, or they know somebody, or one of their friends have passed away over fentanyl overdoses. You know? And I know I got family members or friends and different things that done passed away on fentanyl, man. It just gotta stop, man. It just gotta stop. It ain't gonna stop. It just, like I said, I don't know if it's a goal, a bigger goal. I don't know what the purpose of the fentanyl is. You know, it ain't my thing to worry about it no more. That's a life far behind me. You know, but it still affects me today. You know, whether I'm doing it or not, you know, we can all walk out this door and lose a friend because of fentanyl, man. You know what I'm saying? So I just can't respect nobody who's selling that shit. Especially if you knowingly, you know, like I said, the brothers who got it mixed up, you know, I mean, you don't know. But if you knowingly selling it, man, I can't, you know, there's no respect for that. Now, I do want to say this, you know. Get your copy of the Pitbull encyclopedia. You know, it's for $60 right now, but the price will be going up in the future. I will say that. And I'm a explain why it's at $60 right now. You know, for one, I tell you, I got to start with these tariffs that's affecting country to country. Prices of everything goes up. Okay. Now, what I will say is that book right now should be at $150 probably. And it will make it to that price eventually. You know, two, I try to give brothers, you know, the type of information I know that they would like to read, and type of information I know that they need when it comes to these dogs. Hardcover book, all color, you know, and the thing is, I do my research. I done been trying to buy books in the past. I know how much these books cost. I know you can't buy a Mr. Hammond's book, or you can't buy a Mr. Stratton book. You can't even buy certain ones of them old Mr. Stratton books new off Amazon right now. If you buy it, it's gonna be used. You know, and the thing is, and when you buy it, it's still high in price. And when you find these books when they new, you're talking $100 and some dollars. You know, and it's not necessarily who it is, but it's the information brothers is giving. You know, and you know, back in the days, you really didn't have no real Pitbull information in these books. You get a little book that might talk about stabs, might talk about how to do a little training here and there, but it was really never focusing on the dogs that we had. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I ain't dumb, and I know how much these books really cost. You know what I'm saying? And if I'm giving you an 8x10, which is big size, 8x10, not the 6x9s, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a whole lot more. It's cost me more to print it. You know what I'm saying? Different companies I deal with, you know, I'm gonna give you a quick example. One company I deal with to print this book right here cost me about $80 to print the book. You know, we're not even talking about what I'm gonna sell the book for. That's my price, what I'm gonna pay if I order the book, I'm gonna pay $80 dealing with one company. But the company quality and everything is legitimate. You know, and that's another thing. Dealing with different companies, you know, some companies' quality ain't as good as other companies. And then the price go in. Some companies ain't, how can I put it? They're not mongrels. They're not giants. You know what I'm saying? You have like Walmart. Walmart is a giant when it comes to shopping and that type of stuff. Some of these book publisher companies aren't giants. So they're going to charge you more to publish your book or whatever. But I feel like $60 is the low right now for the information that's in it. You know, how to take care of dogs, how to raise these dogs, different pedigrees, some fun talk, some history. Just you should be able to just enjoy yourself when you jump into this book. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, right now it's going for $60. Big shout out to the brothers, you know, that pre-ordered their copy of the book. You know what I'm saying? I'll be dropping the signatures and stuff in there, and little notes and stuff that I know I feel like is important. I can't say thank you enough, man, and I appreciate all the support, you know, when it comes to that, man, because this is not something that's just, like the videos, I'm going to be pumping a video today that I'm on now, and next week I'm not going to be worried about this video. I'm worried about the next one, you know, but when it comes to my book, this is something I can promote for the rest of my life. You know what I'm saying? Whether I got dogs or not, you know, I can stay on my grind doing what I got to do. You know, and like I said, enjoy the price right now, $60. Wood going up, paper made by wood. You know, everything's going up. Them dogs that you're reading about in that book, they going up. Everything's going up. So you just got to understand what it is. If you can't afford it, it's just like them dogs. A lot of people don't supposed to have the dogs. You know what I'm saying? And it just go down like that sometimes. You know, but the thing is, and I appreciate Brother Samurai for saying something about it on his show, giving me a little advertisement on his show. I appreciate you, brother. I feel like, you know, and I had my share of Pitbull books. It just, you know, when it comes to Pitbull books, you know, with pictures, with information and stuff that you can learn from it, you can never get enough of them. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to the difference between a Gazette and my book is the Gazettes that you get is advertisement. You get a lot of information out of that stuff as well, but most of the time it's a lot of advertisement did. You know, and this in the book is no advertisement. You know, as far as, I'm trying to sell, or you know, if you want to buy this, buy these collars and stuff like that. You know, so like I said, man, it just some straight up, down to earth, down bottom dog techniques, taking care of these dogs and learning about these dogs, man. And like I said, the $60 tag, you know, I know these Pitbull books, I know how much they go, you know, and I know they high dollar books. And I'm not talking about mine, but I am talking about mine. When I say high dollar, I know if I would have never created my book and I go anywhere trying to buy one, paying high dollar. You know, paying high dollar. So if you're complaining about 60, you know what I'm saying? Wait till you get a load of me in a couple more months. You know what I'm saying? When that thing go up. And I gotta say, and I gotta send a big thank you and a shout out to everybody, you know, that purchased one. The brothers that ain't telling me they got them, they just went and got one, purchased it. That's the thing about it. And I told y'all brothers, this book gonna outlast y'all haters. Y'all haters can hate today, you can hate tomorrow. You know? But when it comes to you gonna need you a book with some Pitbull stuff in it, you eventually gonna have to get one. Whether it's from me or the next brother, you eventually gonna have to get one or just don't get it at all. Like I said, I'm not putting these on ebook. I know how to do ebooks. I know how to do Kindle and all that. Every book I got is on ebook and Kindle. Not cutting myself short with this. You know, if you want to order it, get the hardback. Now, if you want the ebook, now I'm tell you why I say I'm not cutting myself short with this. ebook puts myself in the lane to be bootleg. The moment I sell, if I say, oh, I sell ebooks for double the price, you want to buy an ebook, give me $120. Nah, it's not worth $120. You see? You get that thing for $120, you paid it. Now you out here selling them. You out here selling them and cutting my throat. I just told these brothers this Pitbull game is a cutthroat game. You know? So by me not selling ebooks, it might cut a penny or two off, but it's gonna make sure you can't bootleg it. You know what I'm saying? By me not selling Kindle, it's gonna cut a dollar or two off, but it's gonna make sure you can't bootleg it. You know? And these brothers' bootleg game is up the par these days. You know what I'm saying? They bootleg game up the par. So I feel like you will enjoy the handheld paperback book more myself anyway. So, I just wanted to speak about that, man, and why I'm doing them for $60. The low price of $60 right now. Don't be too late, because you may go back and click that Amazon link and the thing might be $100. Is what it is, man. Is what it is. Now let's get into some of this Mr. Barracuda talk. You know what I'm saying? And hold up. I do want to say this, man. There's a red boy Jocko dog that I want to speak about that we really don't talk about a whole lot. But back in the days, you used to hear about this stuff, like how you used to hear about vice grip stuff and Vietnam kennel stuff. The Voyles Little John dog. The Voyles Little John dog. And when we look at that pedigree, you know what I'm saying? This is a very, very, very well-bred red boy Jocko dog, bred the way you want them dogs bred back in the days. You know what I'm saying? Let me pull up the ped real quick. Now, when you look at Little John's ped, Voyles Little John, and see, a lot of brothers may get confused now. Understand, on my channel, I have spoken, at this time right here, I have spoken about 3 Little Johns. 3 different Little Johns from 3 different camps. Cuban Missing Link Little John, a great dog. Walkamal's Little John, a great dog. And Voyles Little John, great dog. Now, when you go to the pedigree of Voyles Little John, you got Chavis Double Trouble, which is his sire, and Chavis Sexy is his dam. Now, Sexy is coming down off Yellow John 2 and Chavis Red Lightning, and Double Trouble is coming down off Jocko and Chavis Red Rose. Chavis Red Rose is coming down off. So the Voyles Little John dog is, bred out of this world. And you don't hear brothers really talking about it. I'm not sure if the dogs really got kind of low as far as the actual lineage of dogs. But I know several brothers who got some of them dogs out there today. Great dogs, man. Bred great. I love, like I said, if the dog is great, this is the type of stuff that I like to add to my program. Stuff like that, that's directly linked to my program, but not involved with my program at all. You know what I'm saying? With that Jocko stuff, I can do wonders with it. And I know this for a fact, when the online pedigree was first getting started, and brothers don't know who went on the first website. It was a message board out before online pedigree started back in the days, and it had all the bloodlines. When you go on the message board, this is how it's set up. You might go up there and you see Red Boy Jocko and crosses. You might go up there and you see Eli, all the dogs had their own little message board, each bloodline, and it was a lot of bloodlines. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't just no 5 or 6. You know, everybody who had famous dogs, you might have the Mayday message board. You might have the Jeep message board. And that's how brothers was communicating. You know what I'm saying? And then in them days when you heard about the vice grip stuff, the Vietnam stuff, the Voyles stuff, you know what I'm saying? And my brothers who just getting into the dogs or not familiar with everything, you know, you may get it confused when I'm saying boils and Voyles. One with the B, the other with the V. The Voyles stuff is different, whole different line. The Voyles with the V is the Red Boy Jocko stuff, at least the Little John dog is. Okay, now when it comes to Barracuda, you know, something I had to correct from last night, because Gladys is not his mama, but Gladys is Deadlift's mama, and Gladys is also another female that's in the back pedigree mama. So, you know, when we look at this Barracuda pedigree, you know, it don't change nothing. It just showing you that Mo Jocko is in there, you know, because just look at Gladys, you know, and Deadlift, which is Deadlift's mother. And Deadlift is the sire of Barracuda's mother, you know. But Gladys, man, it brings that heavy presence of Jocko into that Barracuda stuff. Like I said, she is, well, it bred Yellow to Gladys to get Tance Lula. Tance Lula bred back to Yellow to get Powerhouse Miss Yellow, you know. And Miss Yellow bred to Deadlift. Deadlift himself being off Gladys. Miss Yellow, Gladys is Miss Yellow's grandmother. You know, so we got that big presence of Jocko that comes in through the Barracuda stuff. Nothing really changes from what I said. You know, whether she's you know, Barracuda's mother, which she's not. You know what I'm saying? Or his grandmother or whatever. It still brings that presence of Jocko in there. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is when it comes to that stuff, man. Great dogs. And like I said, it don't change the fact that that's where that look comes from. Your big hound dogs, that's where your different look comes from, because he's bred a little bit different than some of the dogs that you're comparing them to. You know what I'm saying? And then when it comes to Mr. Barracuda, like I said, can't take nothing from him. Great dog. Looking for great prospects and bitches off of them in the future. You know, and you know, like I said, when you see dogs bred this way, man, you just gotta acknowledge the brothers who put that work in before you. Like I always say about that Big John stuff. A lot of the hard work was did before me, you know. Now it's up to me to keep the things going with the dogs that I got, making sure I'm breeding great dogs to great dogs, and making sure the consistency level stays up with the line on my end. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of lines, a lot of brothers don't and didn't have that opportunity to work with something that the hard work has already been did. You got to do the hard work now, you know, and it's not easy. It's really hard. You know, finding those particular dogs that carry them traits, them pre-potent traits, trickling down, and trickling down. You know, there's nothing easy about that. And especially it's nothing easy about it living in modern day time with these different laws that you can't do the things that the brothers that did the hard work did. And what I notice about a lot of them dogs, man, especially them yellow dogs, if you look at it, how they bred, you know, a lot of times there's a lot of line breeding did. It might be off Yellow on the top, and then on the bottom it's off Yellow John, or one of Yellow John's sons, or something like that. A lot of them breeders, man, they made great dogs because of how them brothers was breeding. And that's why I say the way that Tant and them boys and them boys in that 90s and 80s era, the way they did their breeding kind of changed the game from Mr. Tudor and Mr. Carver and all them brothers from back in the days and all the pioneers, you know, the way the brothers from the 80s was breeding, it changed the game, man. You start seeing a different level of bulldog, you know, and that's no knock to none of the old schoolers, you know. But I think you got a different bulldog in that era, but at the same time, I feel like the health of the dog all the way around may have got a little worse since the pioneer days, you know. And I gotta keep that statement going by saying some of the things that we used to have with our dogs, brothers not going through it now. Like you don't see mange as much as you used to see it. And just different things. But back in them days when it wasn't as much inbreeding, they had a bigger gene pool, you know, with their dogs. So that's why I'm saying they would have got healthier dogs out of their pit bull puppies and stuff like that. Once we start getting into that era of inbreeding, closing up this gene pool, wanting them tight as can be, it's like, you know, it's a whole different genetically made up dog. Same gene, same family tree, but the way you breed them, you know, you're gonna get a different kind of dog. And you know, I just want to touch up on that, man, as well. Like I said, Mr. Barracuda is at stud. Holla at your folk Brick Soldier Kennels, man. And he'll put you in the game, you know what I'm saying? He'll put you in the game with that Red Boy Jocko stuff. Now, when you go into the fourth generation and you look at Mr. Barracuda's pair, you see a little Jeep in the bottom, you see a little Frisco. And in actuality, you got to go past the fourth to see this, you know. But you see the Frisco, the Jeep, and a little of that Kate's Niggerino. But when you go into the third and you look how they got the Tampa dog bred, it's just like, you know, give you a quick example. If I take Fletcher, I breed him with an Eli female, I breed him with a Jeep female, I breed him with a Niggerino female, and I breed him with a Red Boy Jocko female, you know. And I take all of them puppies and breed them back to each other. One off each litter. And I breed them puppies back to each other. You know, and then I end up with Mr. Barracuda. You know, great bred dog, man, great bred. Like I said, you can look at these pedigrees, you know, if you look at the pedigree, you can see a game plan in the process. You know what I'm saying? And they may have already reached the goal in the game plan, you know. So like I said, man, great dog up for stud. I just had to correct something when it came to the Barracuda talk with the Gladys dog, but at the same time, it's still the Jocko presence there through the Gladys stuff, you know, in the dog. Now, Mr. Barracuda also has the Little John dog in him if you go into the fifth generation. You know, he also has the Little John, the CML or the Cuban Missing Links Little John. You know what I just spoke about earlier. Don't get it twisted. Not the Voyles, but the CML. To my brothers who, you know, just learning. You got the Voyles, you got the CML, and you got the Walk. You know, I got the Walk Little John stuff. You know, Mr. Barracuda got the CML Little John in the background. You know, and brothers out there with them great dogs out there scattered across the country and the world got the Voyles stuff. You know, we'll get some of them brothers up here to give some good stories of some of them old Voyles dogs up here soon as well. And like I said, man, become a member, you know, and that way you be in the loop and you get the exclusive interviews when I drop them, you know. And just keep doing our thing. Everybody keep doing their thing out here with these dogs, man. That's all it is to it. Once again, I want to send a big shout out, you know what I'm saying, to Samurai Kennel and his whole Shogun crew, you know, and big salute to all my folk in Marion and Mullins, you know, holding it down. And Samurai, we was talking about Marion and Mullins and stuff like that, you know, on your video. And you did a great video earlier as well. I want to tell you that. Marion and Mullins, man, that's bulldog country back in the days, you know what I'm saying? That's where, you know, Red Boy I want to say Red Boys in Florence County, you know, but Florence County and Mullins and Marion is all is side by side. You know what I'm saying? So all that area is Bulldog County. When we start talking about the Cottonhams, and we start talking about the Red Boy Dogs and the Red Boy Jocko and all the old school players that's in y'all pedigrees and all that type of stuff, them brothers stomped through them areas. Man, Mullins, and stuff like that. I'm not talking about no modern day time. I'm talking about back in the days, you know what I'm saying? Them areas, you know. Great Bulldogs came from them areas, man. And that's why I say, hey, man, you was right up under my back door. You know, I'm from Seaway, you know what I'm saying? I'm from Conway. But all us side by side, like you say that rivalry them brothers got, the Marion Swamp Foxes. And I forgot what Mullins is called. You know what I'm saying? But man, listen, you know, our school was a little bit bigger than them, far as they like 5A, 4A and stuff like that, the division. So we never played them, you know. But the brother Raymond Felton came from down that way. He from Latter. Latter is like right beside all them areas too. So they in that same little division. That's where Raymond Felton came from. You know, them brothers got players down there, you know, football players. Them boys have some great football teams, you know what I'm saying? And like you say, the rivalry, those games are the type of games you want to go to when you see the stands, you know what I'm saying? You can tell it's a rivalry, you know? So big salute and big shout out to all my Marion and Mullins folk out there, man, holding it down, taking care of these dogs, doing what they gotta do, making great breedings, and just surviving out here in this land of the dogs, man. But I really appreciate everybody, man, for rocking with me tonight, man. Y'all have a great day, great evening. You know, big salute, big shout out to Bella UK that always be rocking with the Bay from the other side of the globe. You know what I'm saying? All my folk over there, y'all have a great morning. Productive day at work. Y'all stay safe. Y'all stay legal. Hit that like button before y'all get up out of here. Appreciate y'all brothers down in the chat, sisters. You know what I'm saying? Y'all have a great night. PB K9s, and we out.